fucking loud.
Yeah.
Right, we got the first run in. That was all good, if not a little interesting. Now comes the bit where we start fiddling and fettling and trying to get it spot on. So the first run, actually we'll backtrack. I'll show you a picture, if I can get it, of the dyno run that we had when he was ASBO in his original form. Basically when I first MOT'd him and got him back on the road. So that should be up now so you can see it. And there's a big old hole down there. That was put down to there being a really short can on it. You know that little wish can? That was all done on McPherson Motorcycles, and that's what he reckons. So, you know, you've got to go with what the guy thinks. And then we've just done a run on it now. And it was a bit lumpy and a bit, you know, to start off with. Which was quite surprising actually, because it didn't sound like that in the shed. But anyway, it would appear that we've either got a sticky float or the needle, yeah, the float needle isn't sitting down right. There's some breathers on top of the carbs which are open to atmosphere, and I left the hoses off just so we could see what was going on down there. And with the engine running and stuff and the fuel turned on, it was quite boggy. And you look down, you could see fuel collecting it. You shut the fuel off and suddenly it starts clearing its throat. So I think we've got maybe a sticky float or a float needle that's not sitting down right. And sometimes it just clears itself, so that's sort of what we hoped for. And that's what we went with, and it seemed to open itself up after that. We got the dyno run done, which is all good, but we are massively, massively rich. So this is that Dynojet Stage 3 kit. There we go. Right, so this is that Dynojet Stage 3 kit, and what we've got is the Dynojet needles set 4th grooves from the top. We've got 124 main jets in, which is what it said to use if you're using an aftermarket exhaust, which that one is definitely aftermarket exhaust. Or you get the option of 120s if you're running a stock exhaust. So we're going to have the 124s out. We're going to stick the 120s in because we're properly rich, like massively rich, like 5 AFR or something like that. So hopefully shoving these in should close the gap a little bit, and then we can do another run. They reckon 1 step in jet size is good for about half an AFR. But I don't know, we'll just have to wait and see. Well, I need a screwdriver, a little one. Right then, so we've got the jetting changed over. Trouble is, me being clumsy, I managed to kick one of the boots off and I split the rubber. So I've super glued it back together again. Because I don't want any leaks on the dyno, and I'll just have to get another one for the final build. But he's all stuck back, so which way do you want to go? That way. Stick this on, give Cripsy a shout, and we should be good for another run. It is cold today. It is cold. Right. So what, we're hoping that sort of jumping and stuttering at the top end of the revs is gone then, just by going on the lower jets.
That's where it was missing.
Yeah.
I mean, but to be fair, that's so rich that I'm not sure if that would have been enough. But we should see an improvement, and then we'll know what to do, but hopefully that will be enough. We should find out.
We'll be able to have a good guess at what jets to go for, though, can't we?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Dynojet jets as well, because they're all slightly differently sized. So if you get a 120 Dynojet, that's different than the Cooley or a K&N jet.
Is it?
Yeah. I've got a conversion chart somewhere. It'll tell you.
Right.
Yeah, it'll tell you roughly what each one sort of is.
I think I'll just be sticking with Dynojet. I know what I'm going with then. Stop. better.
Yeah, it is still rich, but it's definitely better. Let's turn that off a bit. Yeah, you notice that flat spot's nearly gone, but not quite. But it is a lot better. So that was before.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so.
Oh wow.
What am I doing? Come on.
Stop poking things.
I'll get rid of the chalk a bit because it makes it easy to see. So that was
the red one was the first one,
yeah.
right?
And that's one that we just done. So power's the same there, and obviously we're starting to get rid of that little bit, and then it picks up everywhere else. So it's gaining a lot of power, especially that little bit. But that could still be better though. You really want that to be like. I've got another one to compare it to. I might have.
And that was just by changing the jets?
Yeah, just by changing the mains.
What's the AFR doing?
Yeah, it's still rich, so yeah.
And nowhere close yet, are we?
No, it's still, I mean that just starts to creep up. And then it goes again. I mean you can mess about with changing the needle and stuff, but to be honest it's really pointless until you get this right. You want to get the mains done first and then work back from the mains really.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean that bit there, you're sort of on the over rev, so I don't really take that into account so much.
Yeah.
But from there to there, then I'd be thinking, yeah. So that's still quite a bit of a way to come up.
So we're probably still talking 3 jet sizes.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, at least for an experimental try. Because what difference has that made on the AFR? So yeah, yeah. Yeah,
it's completely bottomed out here, isn't it?
That's what I mean. So you can't really get a good indication as to how rich it was. But in terms of like what you managed to pick up there just by playing around, there you go. That's just from trying to get rid of that flat spot.
So basically 9 horsepower.
Yeah. In the mid-range.
In the mid-range, and you could notice it when you was rolling it on.
Yeah.
There was a definite lull to it. Okay, so if we was to go 3 jet sizes, because we wanted to run a little bit richer, you were saying, on the richer side.
On the richer side, yeah.
So 3 jet sizes should put us at the top end of the rev range, kind of on the rich side of the AFR.
Yeah.
And then this bit will be the needles. So drop the needles. Is that what you're thinking?
It's so hard to tell. I'm guessing that the main is probably controlling the most part. Probably about that much, I'd say.
Oh right.
Yeah, but the only way you'd really know is if we didn't do anything else and we changed the needles to some drastic position.
Yeah.
Then you get an idea of exactly where it is changing it.
Right. Okay, I've got you.
But bear in mind, this is only wide open throttle as well, because we want it to run nice everywhere else. And it actually, at the moment, it more or less does. All right everywhere else. But it's a little bit rich in places. Maybe the pilot's screws come out just a little bit as well. But I think before we do anything, it's definitely worth trying to get that better.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll try it. But I mean, that's way better than it. It's rideable now. It's just a bit like, come on, just a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it pulls.
That's way better than it was then, mate.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, that's
way better than it was.
I only picked up a few at the top as well, a few little ones at the top.
Yeah. I'm really not bothered about peak power. It's just, to try and smooth that out as much as possible.
Yeah.
And fuel prices at the minute, try and cut the richness down.
True, yeah.
But as long as it's a safe tune and that, I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's quite a difference though, isn't it?
That is a big difference, yeah. Just goes to show it. If it's little variances in the air-fuel ratio, it doesn't make so much of a difference. But as soon as it starts dropping into this area, or if it was dropping into this area, then suddenly, drastically, the power goes all over the place.
Yeah.
You can, as long as you're in here, then you could probably change the AFR from there to there. That wouldn't make a huge difference. But as soon as you get out of that zone, it does make a big difference.
Right.
But,
so I'll be on the Dyno. So we've got 120s in there at the minute. Is it sequential? So there's a 119, 118. I don't know with Dynojets.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Because what I might do is get a selection.
That's not a bad idea, to be honest. And I'll make a note in here now what we got in here. So I'll put my note in here.
So I'll get some of them ordered, get them on the way, and then try and find a slot in your busy social calendar again. Well, I've got other stuff, you know, I've got the seat ump and various other bits and pieces to be made, so it don't matter if it doesn't happen for a while.
Yeah.
But I want it to happen obviously before the engine comes out and gets stripped down, because then that's all going to need to be run back in again, and
yeah, mess around.
You probably don't want to be spanking it at that point, so. Right, okay, so we've had a bit of a fun day. It has been good. Where are we? Right, so we started out, we did exactly what Dynojet said. So that was 124 main jets. I've got copies of all these Dyno printouts and stuff, so I will be shoving them up so you can see. But that was 124 main jets. I think it was 2 turns out on the air fuel mixture. Needle was 4th slot down.
Yeah.
Haven't got a clue about the pilot jet. And that's with the pipe across pod filters and a very aftermarket exhaust with bugger all baffling in it.
Yeah.
And it was rich as hell,
That's
like
loud.
properly rich. Yeah, loud we don't mind, rich is not so good. And there was like, you got to the top end and it started fluttering and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
Is that just because it was so rich at the top end?
Misfire, yeah.
Rich misfire, is it?
Yeah, that's what that big dip is more than anything else.
Right,
Rich.
yeah, there was a massive hole in the power curve and
Yeah,
stuff
that's
as
what it
well.
is.
And you could hear it sort of, you know, stop pulling and then start picking up
Yeah.
again. Okay, so then went back to shed and I got the 120 jets that I've got. That was the only difference you made, wasn't it? Was
That's
it?
literally it, yeah. Didn't touch anything else.
And suddenly that dip is nowhere near as bad as it used to be.
Yeah, it's much better.
Nowhere near. And you can hear it on the dyno as well. So we're still not there yet. According to this, we're about 2.5 off, well, from what we can see, we're about 2.5 AFR off. And a general rule of thumb you were saying was that
For every jet size is worth half an AFR. For every
So-
jet size. But that's such a rough.
yeah.
Depends whose thumb you're using.
And it's different bikes, it'll be different and everything else. Okay, so we're going to go for a set of 116 and 114
I
jets.
reckon, yeah. Give it a bash.
Because it is massively rich at the minute, and we reckon that's going to help that, but it's also going to help fill that hole in the middle.
Yeah, it should do. Yeah. Because it's so rich at the minute, it's literally flat lining when you look at the
Yeah.
AFR. You can't even.
It kind of goes off the bottom of the scale
You
here.
can't quite tell what's going on.
So it's more than that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some more jets ordered. I didn't realise that Dynojet jets is different to McCuney sized jets. Well, that'll be the fan club. Buy eggs
Yeah.
on the way home.
Actually, yeah, it does say.
So, what, are they markedly different then?
Yeah, so I've got a conversion chart somewhere. I won't spend all day looking for it, but basically, if you've got like a McCuney jet or a KN jet and a Dynojet jet of the same number, they flow slightly differently.
Is it like a lot, or is it?
It's enough to cause problems, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and some people don't realise, and they go through the bag of jets like, oh, this is a one whatever, this is a one whatever, but it'll be stamped on it. You'll tell if it's a Dynojet jet because it's got a certain little symbol.
Yeah.
And a KN or a McCuney jet's got their own little symbol, so yeah,
Right.
use the same ones every time.
So we'll just go for Dynojet again, then
Yeah,
we should
it's
be
a lot
all right.
easier.
So if I get 114s and 116s,
Yeah.
then we can have another play. And we won't be changing jets in the dyno room because
No,
that was
let's not do
horrible.
Not unless you've got your T-Rex on.
It drags like a 10-minute job out to an hour, doesn't it?
That's it, we'll get it on next time.
But we'll do that, and then we're going to come back and we're going to see what's what. Now, there's quite a few people who is interested in this. I could name, well, John Allen for a start. He's itching to get his hands on one of these if we can get it to work. So what we're going to do is, because obviously Crispy's putting all the effort here. He's the one that's interpreting what the dyno is saying and all that sort of stuff. But we should be able to get a setup that works on a Mark 1 600 Bandit, where it feels nicely and everything else. Yeah. And you work with Dynojet anyway, don't you? So you could get them to put together kits and... So if you're interested in getting one, I'm going to put all Crispy's details in the bottom of this video, and also the video where we come back and we get it all sorted and everything else. So if you do want one, just get in touch with Crispy and he'll get you sorted. Bear in mind, you're not going to have an exhaust like mine. There might be a little bit of tweaking and differences, but with any bike, if you're going to do this sort of work, you really need to stick your bike on the dyno to get it checked.
And see what it's like,
It's the best way, isn't it, really? Because you can tell exactly.
Straight from Dynojet, a kit that comes straight from Dynojet, we've put them on before, and there's always something that you can adjust.
Well, this is supposed to just work.
Well, it's supposed to,
I mean, we haven't lost any power on what we did before, and we filled the hole in, so it's definitely better, but we could make it even better than this with a bit of tweaking.
If that jetting was, near to where we wanted it to be, that would be putting out a lot more power today as well, especially with these conditions.
Yeah. It's nice and chilly, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Awesome. Right, well, that's where we're going to leave it for this one. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do hope you're well and staying safe, and we'll see you on the next one. Laters.